I realized that I am like 7 months into having this channel. I started it over the summer and I never properly introduced myself in true chaotic ADHD fashion. I just wanted to do something, so I went in guns a-blazing and was just like, here I am. I started throwing book vlogs at you and like reading vlogs and book hauls, and you're like, who is this girl? You're about to find out today. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Casey or Caitlin. No one actually calls me Casey off the internet. I don't know why when I decided to create all my book accounts that I went by Casey. There's no reason for it. Yeah, there's no reason for it. So if you'd rather call me Casey, you can call me Casey. If you want to call me Caitlin, that is also fine too. But I figured I would finally do like the newbie booktuber tag because I've been on here for a couple months, but I'm not like super consistent as of yet. I feel like it's a good time to properly introduce myself. Like, I feel like I've just been in your guys' faces for like the last couple months, in and out, and you're like, who is this girl? You're about to find out. So we're just gonna hop right into the questions because there is a lot to answer. First things first is, why did you start this channel? I originally had a book talk channel. I still have it, or like a book talk page. I still very much use it. I feel like long form content is just a better way for me to organize my thoughts and have a little bit more time. I feel like when I'm talking about books on TikTok, it's very chaotic and really unorganized thoughts, because I just feel like I have to like get all my like important thoughts in a way that is like palatable for TikTok, and I feel like I can really just take my time here and rant and rave. Because honestly, if you let me talk about a book that I love, I will talk about it for hours. Okay, like I will hyper fixate on it. Like, you guys should have seen me when I read the Ravenhood series. I literally would not shut up. So I was like, you know what, I want to make a booktube, and I just like feel like the community here is real chill. Like, everyone's just chill. Like, the girls on Book Talk, we're not gonna get into it right now, but the girls on Book Talk, they like to tussle over nothing, and I just want to read. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I feel like I'm just really chaotic, and I don't know if you can tell, I don't know if the energy and vibe is there, but I have ADHD, and I just feel like I'm a fun time. I feel like I just get really, especially like me, hyper fixating on books. It's just so fun to me. Like, once I get my hook, once I get my mind deep in a book. Speaking of chaos, this is Cheeto. He might make appearances, he might not. Sometimes he likes to bother me, and then I give him attention and he's like, please, no, I don't want it. See, look, he's like, nope, just kidding, bye. But yeah, I just feel like I'm a fun time. Honestly, I'm a fun time. I like to read, and I am becoming more and more of a mood reader. I, through this year, have progressively become more and more of a mood reader. I was very strictly romance, and then now I'm like into thrillers and like, you know, Criminal Minds-esque type books. And I think I'm dipping my toe into romantasy, and I can't wait to explore that new interest in 2024, because I swore off fantasy. Like, I don't know why, but I was like, baby girl over here, I'm just a romance reader through and through. I love love. And then what they say about orange cats is true. You'll never know a moment of peace again. Don't do it. It's just gonna be in my arms. Okay, where do you like to read? I like to read in my car, actually. Like, I know people like oh, I like to read in bed. I do have like a really big like fluffy reading chair over there, and it was very expensive, so I tried to make use of it because it was very much an impulse buy, and I actually sit in that chair the least. Sometimes I'm on my couch, but I really do like to just go grab coffee and sit in my car and read. I feel like I'm a lot more focused of a reader when I'm reading in my car, especially if it's like a rainy day and it's foggy. It starts looking like Forks, Washington outside, and it's all gloomy. I love that. I live in Georgia, and when it rains, it will literally rain for like 30 days and nights, it feels like. What book series got you into reading? Okay, so fun story. Actually, when I first like started school, like kindergarten, like early school age, I actually could not read. I very much struggled to read. It was like a very big insecurity of me. I felt like everyone was able to just get the words on the paper, and I could And I just couldn't. I just didn't understand why. Like, the words were just not making sense. So I had to work very diligently to learn how to read. I had to read literally everything. Like, my grandparents and my mom especially worked really hard with me on like getting me caught up on like level with the rest of my peers. So I used to read like everything. I used to read newspapers, the back of cereal boxes, like signs when we were in the store. Like, I used to just like read everything just to practice. And then once I actually got it, I started just like reading my own books and not just books that I was told to read by the school system. And I think the first vivid like series that got me like really hooked into reading is the 39 Clues. That is a ridiculously long series. I don't think I ever finished it, but I just know that like my earliest like memories of being very hooked into a book series is probably the 39 Clues. I was reading the Boxcar Children with like my class at one point, but I think that I just read that more out of you have to read this. So I don't think I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, it was a cool series, but I definitely loved the 39 Clues. And then somewhere along the way, I became a romance reader, but I also read the OG classics. Like, I was very much a Diary of a Wimpy Kid reader. I was a Dear Dork Diaries reader. It's just like my earliest memories of me like thoroughly enjoying reading without anyone telling me to read. And then I found Wattpad at 12. And it was downhill from there because I read after as she was writing it. What questions would you ask your fave booktubers? Okay, so my favorite booktubers right now, I think her name is Kalia D. I love her channel. It's just so cozy. I love just like watching her, and I would just be like, can we be friends, girl? Like, can we go on a Barnes and Noble trip together? Because like, I love her. Like, she is just so fun. I love her videos. I do really like Sarah and Destiny. I don't know what I would ask them though. Like, how does it feel to be a full-time booktuber? Because that's the goal, okay? Like, I'm not gonna front with you guys. I want to read for a living, okay? I'm tired. I work in retail. I'm tired. What kind of books do you like to read? So I kind of just like went over this. I'm very much a romance reader, but I have been like towards the end of this year been getting a little bit out of my comfort zone. I read Fourth Wing this year because like I kind of got a little bit of FOMO, but I wanted to see if I was going to like it or not because people either love the book or hate it, at least in my like friend group of people who read. I was like, oh, that's really weird because they're really heavy fantasy readers and they did not like Fourth Wing. And I was like, that's really strange. So then I ended up reading Fourth Wing. I think her dragons carried the book. I love the dragons in the book. I like Xaden. I didn't really like her that much, but like, it's fine. And then I read Divine Rivals and I absolutely loved it. So I'm becoming a like, at least a romantasy girly. I don't think I'm a fantasy girly, but romantasy is definitely like, I feel like something I'm going to get into. The Natural series, which is like a Criminal Minds, but like YA series. And that was such an easy and fun read for me. So I think I want to get into more of like murder mystery books. Like, I read the Mindfuck series, probably one of the best reads I've read all year. Like, it was such a fantastic reading experience. So I don't know, I think I like, you know, books that have a romance subplot. Like, I'm always going to like love and like love romance in books, but like I'm cool with having a book that has a romance subplot and there's like something else. A bit of a dark romance reader. It's the Sleep Token lore in me. Like, I don't know, like I just really love a good touch her and you're done, you know, type of guy. Like, I really, I don't know what I can say on this. I don't know how, I'm so used to having to censor everything because I'm on TikTok, so I'm really not sure what I can say on here, but I love me some dark romance, okay? Current favorite authors. Okay, this year I have really gotten like a good grasp of like some of my favorite authors. I took like a 6-year break from reading after high school just because I was so burnt out from like AP classes. So I didn't have any favorite authors as of last year. I will say like my favorite authors are definitely gonna have to be like my instant buy authors, and I actually have a good amount this year. But like if someone were to ask me on the street off the top of my head, I would definitely say like Lucy Score. I love a small town romance and I love like a Grumpy Sunshine, like slow burn, and like she's the queen of them. But like my favorite dark romance author has to be Jessie Hall. She wrote 2 of my favorite reads this year. I am dying, okay? I am dying to reread these, okay? I just, When I tell you the hyperfixation was real, these two books were stuck on my brain all summer. Every time I hopped on live on TikTok, I was talking about these two books. I read this one first, and then I was so like enamored by this book that I had to read this. Jumped in blind, had no idea what this one is about, and if you know, you know. Craziest thing I've read all year. Like, by far, the craziest thing I've read all year. It was so good. And I just definitely, listen, I can go on a rampage. But Jessie Hall is a indie author that I absolutely love. I absolutely adore Lauren Asher. She is one of my favorite like authors. She is also a sweetheart. Danny Galliaro is another like small town romance author. She wrote another one of my favorite like small town romances that I've read. Cece Kensington, she's a newer indie author and she wrote Four String. This is the most interesting contemporary romance I have read all year. It is so good. It's a rock star romance. And I don't know, like look how much this is tapped. Like I could not stop talking about this book either. Like it was like the plot twist in this book was so like not expected. The question was my favorite authors. So like Cece Kensington, Lauren Asher, Jessie Hall, Lucy Score. Jennifer Hartman, she is a new favorite because like Lotus is really, really good too. Okay, before I go on a whole tangent, favorite book tropes. I'm definitely an enemies to lovers girl. I like that moment where like he just loses it. Like, you know, and they're like, fuck it. Like, I love that in enemies to lovers. So I'm very much an enemies to lovers girl. I like slow burns, but like I'm also down with like insta lovey too. I don't mind a pregnancy trope. I think it's really, really fun. I love like a baby in a book. Like when I read Reckless by Elsie Silver. Oh, that's another one of my favorite authors. The Chestnut String series that I have right here. That was a really, really good series. Theo Silva. Again, I could talk about it for hours. I won't, but I will. Micro tropes are my thing though. Like I like the where's my wife? Like where is she? Who did this to you? As soon as the man says who did this to you, I'm sad. I am sad. Any other hobbies? I for the most part I do really just read, but I also like really like going to the gym. I am getting into gaming this year. That's why my intro says and sometimes games. One of my goals is to get back into gaming next year. I just think it's another cozy little hobby. I only have a Switch Lite right now, but I do want to get a Switch OLED so I can dock my games, and then I'm going to try to move into like some PC games. I really, really do enjoy The Sims, so that's why I really do want a PC. But I do thoroughly enjoy like gaming. I like going to the gym, and I like artsy stuff too. I just haven't really got into that, but I would say like my main hobbies are definitely like reading, the gym, and like now gaming. The last question I have is, do you listen to music while reading? I do. I actually do have a reading playlist if you want to listen to what I'm listening to on Spotify. I have a reading playlist. I'll link it down below. And I'm very, very much daily active on TikTok, but I want to like obviously be on Booktube a little bit more. But I mean, yeah, I do listen to music while I'm reading. If I'm reading a dark romance, I definitely listen to Sleep Token like a lot. On a Sleep Token on the like reading playlist that I'm gonna link down below. I'll just make a dark romance reading playlist. That's what I'll do for the girlies that like dark romance. I totally forgot to mention this is a part of a Vlogmas series that I'm doing. Okay, like I said, I have a full-time job, so like I cannot give you videos every single day like I would love to do, but I can't do that. So sorry. But I will try to pump out 12 videos before Christmas, and this is definitely one of them. New to this, I'm not necessarily true to this, but I'm definitely new to this. So like, welcome to the chaos.